In this video, we will start with one of the interesting feature of a C language, that is nothing but the algorithm. What is basically algorithm? Talking to you very frankly, algorithm is nothing but the way of thinking you are creating for solving any problem is nothing but the algorithm. Means it is nothing but a finite set of sequential instructions to accomplish the task, or we can say it as it is a step-by-step solution of a problem. Means, for example, we will take one example and try to correlate it with the algorithm. For example, you have to write a program to add two numbers. Then, before starting to write program in programming terms directly, you will try to think on that problem. Then you will try to collect the variables of that problem, and many much such a things will be in your mind. So these steps are written in plain English terms, means your way of thinking can be written in a plain English terms, and this writing is nothing but the plain algorithm, or these are nothing but the algorithmic terms. Okay, so how we will write the algorithm? For example, to add two numbers, we will start with the way of thinking like we will start, okay, we write in plain English terms like a start. Means, for example, we will write like a start, then we will accept two numbers, then we will write it as accept two numbers, then we will make their addition, then make addition, then display the addition, and then we will stop. So this is our way of thinking to solve any simple problem, and this is known as actually the algorithm. Okay, now we have to study many different things about the algorithm. First is that properties of algorithm. Properties means which are the beneficial factors or which are facilities provided by the algorithm mechanism to the developer. That are nothing but the first is the finiteness, second is the definiteness, third is the effectiveness, and fourth is nothing but the input and output. We will see them one by one. So, what is the finiteness? Finiteness is nothing but the total number of steps used in algorithm should be finite. Means, for example, you have to write a program to add two numbers, and if your programming terms or statement will be of only 5 lines and your algorithmic explanation will be of a 1 or 2 page, then it does not have any meaning. Means there should be limitation in writing the steps. Next is definiteness. Definiteness means each step of the algorithm must be clear and unambiguous. Means algorithm is nothing but the plain way of thinking written in the English terms. So these steps must be so much clear that anyone outside of the user or the developer, if he or she read that statements, then he or she will get the idea about that problem clearly. So the program steps will be definite, means unambiguous and clear. Third is nothing but the effectiveness. Effectiveness is nothing but every step must be basic and essential, means try to write only that much statements in your algorithm that will be converted into your programming terms. Means take an example of this coding, means this algorithm. Start will be converted into hash include and void main. Accept two numbers means we will create two numbers as integer a b. By printf and scanf we will accept them. We will make the addition by c equals to a plus b. Display the addition means we will display by printf, and stop is nothing but the closing curly bracket. Means we have listed here only that much steps which will be actually converted into our program. So it should be effective in nature, means try to only write the essential and necessary steps. And last is nothing but the input and output. What is the input and output? The algorithm must accept zero or more input and must produce at least one output. Means you can accept from zero to many inputs, but you can produce only one output at least. Okay, there is no any limitation on the input, but this or that algorithm or the program should produce at least any one output. Means the algorithm designing steps would be of a specific meaning. They can be a outcome producing, not of any useless value. So these are the some properties of an algorithm that we have to keep in mind while writing the algorithm. Coming with this topic next, we have to see some advantages, means some uses of the algorithms and some limitations, means the disadvantages of the algorithm. Firstly, we will see which are the different advantages of the uses. First is that it is very simple language, means you can write the algorithm terms in plain English. Like I have written here, these are the simple plain English statements, means it is much more easier task for the developer to write the algorithm. There is not any specific structure we have to follow while designing the algorithm. Next one is nothing but the easy to write mechanism. Means algorithms are very easy to write because it is nothing but our plain way of thinking. We have to only write in plain English terms. Means there is no any burden while designing the algorithm. So these are the simple our way of thinking. Third is nothing but the easy techniques. How it is easy? Because the logic we are listing in the algorithm are very easy for developer to develop it into a programming terms. Means here I have clearly mentioned that accept two numbers. It is programmer's task to convert these plain statements to programming terms. Means he read these statements and simply convert it into a programming code. So it is a easy and much more simpler technique for the developer. And last one is nothing but the easy error identification. As these are the simple plain English terms and anyone can get the clear idea about where the mistake has happened. Okay, so these are the some advantages or the uses in which cases or why we use the algorithms that are listed in that advantageous mechanism. Now, as the coin has two sides, then in any mechanism there can be a advantages and disadvantages also. So we will see the next mechanism, that is disadvantages or limitations. First of all, it is a time consuming because why it is time consuming? We have to think on that problems, then we have to write it in a plain English terms, and then we have to convert it into a programming terms. So it is much more time consuming task. Next, though it is a plain simple English language statements, while we have to cover the looping and branching mechanisms, it is much more difficult to show the looping and branching. Means, for example, you have to select maximum number from 5 numbers, then you have to compare A with B, B with C, C with D, D with E. Then if A is not greater than B, then we have to compare B with C, C with D, D with E. And much more difficulties will occur while branching and looping will happen. So here is the limitation of the algorithm while developing the complex task. Next is the big tasks are difficult. Means while simulation problems or any much different mechanisms while we will design with the help of algorithm, it is a difficult to write it in a plain English terms. So these are the some limitations, advantages or the properties of an algorithm while using that algorithm. So this is all mechanism of algorithm. With the help of this algorithm or these plain mechanisms, we will try to write the algorithm for some problems in the next video mechanisms. Thank you so much.